Hey guys, so we're gonna make some meatballs today. I actually referred to that in the ceviche, the mango ceviche episode. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it again. It's also very easy and very fast to make. Really talking to the moms out there that don't want to spend hours, and the dads don't want to spend hours on prepping something delicious. So what I have is ground meat, and I'm gonna start with seasoning it. So I have here teriyaki sauce, and I'm basically gonna marinate it. And I got a very tiny piece of garlic. I don't want to have too much of the garlic because I don't want to have so much flavor in it. I honestly had such a beautiful, magical morning. Let me get some salt and pepper. I was supposed to, well, I had the intention of going to this beautiful dance that we do on the beach here once a week. And because of that, usually I wear a bikini underneath my outfit and bring a towel. Since I dropped the little one off really early to school, I decided to have a morning walk. And in my morning walk, I ended up in our Central Park. I ran into a friend, and she said, as he couldn't make it, made me really reflect and be like, what do you really feel like doing today? And I was like, you know what? I have everything with me. I have my outdoor studio with me, and so my DJI and my tripod. Let me just go to this beautiful, magical spot and create an episode there. And so I did that. So this morning, my episode was in this, well, it's more like at the canal, but it feels like a lake. So I filmed an episode there. And then I went into this hidden area that only the locals know about, and some lucky tourists. But I went to that place, and I think we call it a cenote. It's not really a cenote. And I ended up doing a meditation there, and I was like, you know what, let me record that also as a b-roll so that I can actually create a meditation later as well. And then I jumped in the water, and it was so amazing. Give me a second, let me get this thing. When I first came into this area before living here, this was the spot that made me decide this is where I want to raise my son. And it really brought me back in that moment in time. And it's funny because the episode was also referring back to that. Like, yeah, the episode was about, I will link it. The episode was about when you're very ambitious, then it's very easy. Let me do this a little bit. Then it's very easy to, when you lose track of what is important to you, you know, like to be present in life, present with the people that you love. And since I took on this journey of, you know, showing up on YouTube every day, I really noticed, like, sometimes it can take a big chunk of my day, let's put it that way. And I made that change of, you know, creating a new workflow that suits my lifestyle and my values better. How can we build this and at the same time still remain that, you know, the strong presence in my son's life? He was the main reason that I switched things up in my workflow. And it made me think of, yeah, that's why I left the Netherlands. I wanted to have a slower pace of life. Being in that spot, the exact spot where I actually was like falling in love with this place, and Fico was so tiny, he was just 4 years old. Yeah, it meant something. Anyway, I had so much fun, you know, jumping in that water. It was just a perfect temperature. Fico gave me a lot of braces that he made, and I started to wear them all together. And one of them fell, got loose, and it was in the water. So when I got out of the water, I noticed that it was there drifting away from me. So I jumped again to grab it. But as I was walking back home, I was so grateful for the fact that I decided to invest in an outdoor studio so that now I can do that. Those spontaneous things of just having everything with me just in case. It doesn't weigh anything. And being able to just create in the moment. And yeah, I've been honestly on cloud number 9 because I feel that creation buzz, you know, doing new things has now expanded to limitless opportunities for me to show up and create, because I'm not bound anymore to do it at home. And yeah, it actually makes creation even more fun, honestly. So anyway, today We're gonna make this before Figo has his jiu-jitsu practice. And I usually just, in the moment, decide what we're gonna eat. It's whenever I have the food delivered for the week. It's in that moment that I have like always some baseline stuff that we eat. Like for example, carrots. Like every time Figo goes to school, I always make sure he has some vegetables in his lunchbox. So cucumbers and carrots are the way to go because look, it's so easy to eat and it's already clean. So right now, to have some veggies in this dish as well, I'm going to cut the carrots in half and bake it with some olive oil and some oregano. And it's really tasty. And I put it on a softer setting so that it can really get soft inside. And then I'm gonna, once that's done, or once that's in the pan, I'm gonna start rolling the meatballs and do the same thing basically. Let's simmer. I always use butter. I just love the taste of it. When you should do that, let me do this again. So I have to cook anyway, and for me, this is just a fun way of creating stuff for you guys, entertain you guys. Because the other day, one of my followers, he mentioned it. He was food prepping as he was watching my show, and he also watched the Dutch pancake episode. And honestly, it's so heartwarming to know that you guys are just doing random stuff, and that in that time, yeah, that I'm basically in your living room or in your kitchen. But I thought it was so heartwarming. Even my bestie, she mentioned it. She was watching the ceviche episode with her daughter, and Figo came by in that episode a little bit in the background, and her daughter, who knows Figo since they were like 4 and 5, she's like, oh my god, Figo is so big, because they live in Norway, so they don't see each other all the time. And yeah, she loved watching him, and she said, oh my god, he looks like this famous Norwegian soccer player who is completely blonde and a huge guy. And I think the only thing they have in common is that they both have long hair. And when Figo goes to his activities, you know, like sports and stuff, I tend to put a bun in his head, in his hair, so that he doesn't have his hair in his face. But anyway, I thought it was so adorable, and like, yeah, I think it's heartwarming to know that people are actually watching my videos while they're just doing day-to-day things, and I'm entertaining them. And it reminds me of how I do that with other people too. Well, listen to their content while I'm walking, or well, not anymore while I'm cooking, but I definitely had those periods in life where I would have my headset on and just in my zone, you know. Actually, this baby is done. Let me heat the stove. So meanwhile, I cut some pieces of butter, and I'm already going to heat that pan as well, as I'm going to roll the meat. So I got some dried oregano, and it's, oops, give me a second. Yeah, and it smells so good. So I'm gonna touch it over. The other day I was making bacon, and look, I got burns because it was just, all that oil was just going everywhere and it attacked me, and it was so painful. Oh my god. I still feel it when I'm cooking because of the heat. It's really painful. Anyway, part 2. Sometimes they use breadcrumbs and stuff like that to really make it firm, but I don't. I just use the meat on itself. Just let me remove this one. And usually we have some left. Always a surprise to see how much I get out of it. So this is like 500 grams of meat, and that's more than enough for 2 people. Figo eats like an adult, by the way. I basically cook every day when he's with me. Okay, everything is rolled. Let me clean this. So I already put the butter in, and it's hot. And I do that because I like it to have this beautiful crispy, how do you call that? I prefer the meatballs to be like brown on the outside, crispy even, but well cooked obviously on the inside. So I always put it a little bit high in the beginning, and then I put it lower. So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like now. Yum, raw meat. Okay, so meanwhile, like I said, this is so fast. So meanwhile, I'm going to cut the spring onions. Like the other day that I used spring onions, I forgot the name for spring onions. So hilarious. Anyway, now I know. You see my face is all sweaty. The AC is on. But when you cook, it's still so freaking hot, you know? Honestly, these are my favorites. They can bring so much flavor in a dish. They use it a lot in the Asian cuisine. So what I really like, while we're still waiting for that, is some cream. They call it Crème. And that is basically for the meatballs. And what I usually tend to do is season that as well. So here we are. This is black pepper, some salt, and some paprika. It looks like this, and then a handful of spring onions. Look at that. I opened a few just to make sure that they're fully cooked, and they are. So I'm gonna plate now. These look amazing, guys. Can you see it? Wow. And the smell is just delicious. So whatever is left, and this is it. And so on the side, I have some pita bread. They're roasted. And voila! Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know if you're gonna try this one. And I hope to see you in tomorrow's episode. Bye bye.